Deep beneath the bustling streets of a city that never sleeps, a secret lay hidden. It was a tunnel that had vanished from official maps, erased from history as if it never existed. But darkness has a way of revealing truths that daylight cannot touch. A group of urban explorers, drawn by the whispers of the underground, stumbled upon its entrance, an inconspicuous rusted door, half buried in vines and shadows. The thrill of discovery urged them forward, but little did they know, they were about to uncover a mystery that would challenge everything they thought they knew. As they crossed the threshold, the air thickened, heavy with the scent of damp earth and echoes of the past. Their flashlights flickered along the walls, illuminating strange markings that seemed to pulse with an energy of their own. What were these symbols? Who had etched them into the cold concrete? The explorers felt a chill run down their spines, each step deeper into the tunnel, raising questions that would linger long after they emerged. But the real mystery was still hidden in the shadows. As they ventured further, the tunnel began to reveal its secrets. An electrical hum filled the air, a sound that shouldn't exist in a place long forgotten. Lights flickered on sporadically, casting eerie glows that danced on the walls like ghosts of the past. How could this be? Who had maintained this forgotten passage? And why was it still operational? With each turn they took, the atmosphere grew heavier, almost suffocating. The explorers exchanged nervous glances, their excitement now tinged with unease. They had come seeking adventure, but what they discovered next changed everything. Sections of the tunnel appeared recently maintained, as if someone or something had been there moments before their arrival. This revelation sent shivers down their spines. Was someone watching them? Were they intruding on a territory that was still very much alive? And this is where the story takes a darker turn. The deeper they explored, the more twisted the markings became, patterns that seemed to defy logic and reason. Some segments of the tunnel branched off into darkness, leading to uncharted territories that felt almost like a labyrinth. The explorers felt the weight of unseen eyes, the hairs on the back of their necks standing on end as they navigated the maze. What lay ahead? Was it a forgotten relic of a bygone era, or something far more sinister? But there was one problem nobody could explain. Despite the tunnel's eerie stillness, the air was charged with a palpable energy, as if it were alive. The explorers began to feel unease creep in, their minds racing with the implications. This was no ordinary tunnel. It was a secret kept for too long, holding answers that could shatter the facade of the world above. The truth was hidden for years, buried beneath layers of concrete and silence. As they pressed on, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the cusp of uncovering something monumental. Yet, some questions remain unanswered even now. What truly lies at the end of this forbidden passage? And why had it been erased from existence? The deeper they went, the more they realized that sometimes, the darkest secrets are the ones that should never be unearthed. The story of the tunnel nobody was supposed to find begins long before the explorers made their fateful discovery. In a city bustling with life, where every street corner tells a tale, whispers of a hidden passage slipped through the cracks of urban legend. Some claimed it was a relic from a forgotten time, abandoned and left to rot. Others spoke of it as a secret hideout, a sanctuary for those who dwelt in the shadows. But no one could pinpoint its location. It was as if the tunnel had been deliberately erased from memory. As rumors spread, curiosity ignited a flame. Urban explorers, drawn to the thrill of the unknown, began their search. They scoured blueprints, piecing together the fragments of history, but found nothing. Official maps showed only blank spaces where the tunnel should have been. What lay beneath the city? A forgotten world, or something more sinister? That question lingered in the air, heavy with anticipation. When the group finally stumbled upon the entrance, it was hidden behind a crumbling wall, cloaked in weeds and neglect. They hesitated, staring into the inky darkness. The air around them felt thick, charged with an energy that sent shivers down their spines. It was both inviting and foreboding. They had crossed a threshold, stepping into a realm that was never meant for them. As they descended into the unknown, the initial excitement quickly morphed into unease. The tunnel twisted and turned, revealing walls adorned with bizarre markings. Some appeared ancient, while others were shockingly fresh. The explorers exchanged glances, questions brewing in their minds. Who had been here before them? And why did some sections look as if they had been maintained just recently? Each step deeper into the tunnel peeled back another layer of mystery, inviting them further into its depths. Strange echoes ricocheted off the walls, almost as if the tunnel itself was alive, whispering secrets of its own. It felt like walking through a dream, one that teetered on the edge of nightmare. Despite the oppressive atmosphere, they pressed on, eager to uncover the truth. But what they discovered next changed everything. Electrical systems flickered to life, casting eerie shadows along the damp walls. How could power still flow here, in a place thought to be forsaken? And this detail is what makes the story hard to ignore. It hinted at a presence that lingered, unseen yet palpable. Yet, amidst the strange markings and flickering lights, the real mystery was still hidden. With every turn, every rusted pipe overhead, the explorers felt a growing sense of dread. They were not merely uncovering a forgotten past, they could very well be stumbling upon something that should have remained buried. And as they ventured deeper, the questions multiplied. What lay ahead? Was it a doorway to a dark chapter of the city's history, or a secret still being written? Each unanswered question deepened their intrigue, weaving a web of curiosity that threatened to ensnare them. The truth, long hidden, beckoned them closer, yet remained just out of reach. The darkness wrapped around them like a shroud, concealing the answers they sought. As the explorers pressed on, the atmosphere thickened with tension. The flickering lights weren't just a quirk of the tunnel's decay. They illuminated something more sinister. Strange markings, etched into the walls, told a story of their own, cryptic symbols that seemed to pulse with energy. What had these explorers stumbled upon? With each step, the air felt charged, as if the tunnel itself was alive, watching, waiting. The deeper they ventured, the more unsettling the sights became. Old machinery lay dormant yet appeared unnaturally well preserved, as if it had been used only hours before. Dust-coated surfaces, yet there were no signs of neglect. It was as if time had paused, leaving behind whispers of a hidden operation. Who could have been down here? And why did everything seem so carefully maintained? This contradiction sent chills down their spines. Was someone or something still using this tunnel? Suddenly, they stumbled upon a rusted door, slightly ajar. It creaked ominously as they approached, revealing a dim chamber beyond. Inside, the explorers found even more of the strange symbols. They glowed faintly in the dark, casting an otherworldly light that made their skin crawl. What purpose did these markings serve? The explorers exchanged anxious glances, their hearts racing. They weren't alone in this underground labyrinth. Each corridor branched into pathways that twisted into the darkness. Echoes of distant sounds seemed to beckon them deeper. Were those voices? Or merely the tunnel's groaning, a reminder of the weight of history above? But the explorers pressed on, drawn by an undeniable force. They could feel it, the revelation that lay just beyond their reach. As they navigated the labyrinth, they uncovered more hidden compartments. Old files, yellowed with age, hinted at clandestine activities that had taken place long ago. Each document was a piece of a puzzle that felt dangerously incomplete. Could these papers have been the key to understanding what happened here? Yet, the explorers were not equipped to interpret them, their contents cloaked in secrecy. The deeper they dug, the more questions emerged. Who managed this underground world, and for what purpose? But then, something caught their eye: an inconspicuous hatch, slightly hidden beneath the debris. It was marked by those same strange symbols. Without hesitation, they opened it, revealing a narrow shaft that descended further into the abyss. The air grew colder. There was an unsettling stillness, as if time had come to a standstill. They hesitated, exchanging nervous glances, but curiosity was a potent motivator. As they descended, the reality of their situation began to sink in. It was no longer just a forgotten tunnel, it felt like a gateway to something far darker. The very essence of danger loomed. What unseen forces might be lurking just beyond the flicker of their flashlights? With every breath, the weight of the tunnel pressed down. They had uncovered fragments of a forgotten narrative, but questions swirled like shadows. What happened next still does not fully make sense. The deeper they went, the more they realized this was not merely an exploration, it was an unraveling of secrets best left untouched. The explorers were now entwined in a story that promised danger, mysteries, and perhaps a truth too disturbing to confront. As they reached the bottom of the shaft, the air thickened with an eerie tension. The darkness enveloped them, but flickers of red light danced in the corners of their vision. It pulsed like a heartbeat. They could feel the energy, an undeniable hum that seemed to resonate with their own unease. The explorers exchanged whispered speculations. What could be generating that light? What lay beyond the next bend? But as they moved forward, their apprehension grew. The markings on the walls were not just random symbols, they seemed to tell a story. A story that hinted at a purpose, something grander than mere construction. Each corner they turned revealed more intricate carvings, and with them, more questions. Who had left these signs? And why? Then something happened that nobody expected. They stumbled upon a chamber, vast and unsettling. It was lined with equipment that looked astonishingly modern, even though the tunnel itself had been long forgotten. Screens flickered with static, machines buzzed softly, and the air crackled with electricity. The explorers felt a chill run down their spines. This was not an abandoned relic, it was a cryptic command center, still operational in a forgotten world. As they approached the controls, one explorer noticed something odd. A series of maps flashed on the screen. They were maps of the city above, but not just any maps, these were detailed, with glowing red dots marking specific locations. They realized the tunnel was part of a network, one that extended far beyond what they had imagined. But there was one problem nobody could explain: why had these maps been hidden? Who was using this tunnel, and what purpose did it serve? The group's exhilaration turned to dread. They were uncovering layers of a dark conspiracy. The deeper they delved, the more they felt they were being watched. Shadows flitted just outside their view, and the air thickened with a sense of impending danger. Each heartbeat echoed in their ears, urging them to flee. Yet, the allure of the mystery was powerful. In that moment, they knew this was no mere exploration, they were at the center of something far more significant. As they turned to leave, the screens flickered again, and a message appeared: "Continue your search." With their hearts racing, they exited the chamber, unsure of what they had just unearthed. The final discovery would change everything. Rumors spread quickly among the urban explorers. Some believed the tunnel was still being used today, a hidden artery powering a shadowy operation beneath the city. What lay ahead still remained unknown. But the allure of the hidden tunnel, the unanswered questions, and the mysteries that lingered like smoke in the air made it nearly impossible to forget. And that is what makes this case so hard to forget. The tunnel wasn't just a passage beneath the earth, it was a portal to a narrative steeped in secrecy, fear, and the unknown. A reminder that sometimes, the stories we uncover are far more dangerous than the darkness that hides them.